Welcome to the Pan Am Cup Live. I'm your host, Richard Mason in Canada. But today, this is the first ever online weightlifting competition involving athletes from around the world. Weightlifters primarily from North America, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean are competing against each other in real time, wherever they are, in their homes, in their training centers, gyms, wherever they can find their weights and their platform. This is our third session today. We have more sessions tomorrow. We have 2 more sessions today as well. And these are the women of the 71 kilo category. Let's meet the athletes. Representing Ecuador, Angie Daihomes. Representing Uzbekistan, Feyzulieva Kumushkon. Representing Canada, Nadia Yangi. Representing Cuba, Marina Rodriguez Mitian. Representing Colombia, Mercedes Perez. Representing the United States of America, Maddie Sasser. Representing Colombia, Natalia Llamosa. These are the athletes that will be participating in this session. We have a lot of other people that we have to invite in to help us get this all done. We have referees for this session. Representing Mexico, Nadia Alvarado. Representing Italy, Vito Colasanto. Representing Serbia, Milan Mihailovic. Representing United Arab Emirates, Yassim Al-Jawadi. We're also joined by our timekeeper. His name is Bowen Stewart. He's in Australia, and he will, if required, jump in and press a referee's light as well if we have trouble with the connection between our referees who are joining us from all around the world. We also have a little help from our Spanish-speaking friends. We've got Italo Baratini, who will help me communicate with the North American, South American, Central American athletes. Thank you very much for that. This is a little bit of a different weightlifting competition. We don't have any referees who are serving as jury members. So that means that there will be no challenge cards, no reversals. Other changes that you'll see in this competition that you won't see in others is there are other things. We'll be handling things a little bit differently. Let me explain. This is the first online Pan Am Cup Live brought to you by ZKC. It's a development project organized between the Pan American Weightlifting Federation, the International Weightlifting Federation, and we're receiving help from the Chinese barbell company ZKC as a strategic partner. The goal is to promote real live competition. It's unfortunate that with the situation as it is in the world today, we all can't fly into some place, gather and lift on the same barbell and have a good time together. We can't, so we're doing our best to make sure that the athletes still get a chance to compete in a different and safe environment. Now, each lifter will set up a camera in front of them. They'll be performing their snatch and their clean and jerk in their chosen location. We have athletes competing today from all over the Pan American region, and as you can see with the athlete entered from Uzbekistan, definitely from beyond Pan Ams. Now, just before each of the 3 rounds starts, in the snatch and the clean and jerk, we'll start a 2-minute clock. That's the opportunity for the athletes to make any changes that they have to make. We'll be lifting in rounds. So each athlete will go through their first snatch, all of the athletes, and then we'll go through all the athletes again for their second attempt. There'll be 2 minutes between for them to make any changes that they need to. Now, after each round, the athlete order can be shuffled because we're still going from the lightest weight first into the heaviest weight. The athlete attempts will be reordered as necessary. Each lifter will, like usual, still perform 3 snatches, still perform 3 clean and jerks, and as usual, we'll take the heaviest snatch and we'll add it to the heaviest clean and jerk, and that's how we will get our total medalists. The largest total win. But after that, it's a different and fun way of trying to do this in a time of social distancing and limited international travel. After each round, after we've gone through all the snatches, we'll take a 10-minute break. We've got a little bit of entertainment planned for you in that 10-minute break, and then we'll continue on with the clean and jerk. As not all of the traditional IWF rules have been applied here, we can't really count this as a qualifying event for bigger and better meets, and we also can't really count this for world records or continental records. So there's no jury, there's no one there at the beginning to tell them to, lower the weight, and there's no one there as well to supervise the weigh-in. So we are doing this for everything but qualification and world records. There'll still be medalists though. Both the snatch and the clean and jerk will receive medals, and we'll have a small medal ceremony after each session for the winners in the total. All participating athletes will receive a certificate. As you can check on the scoreboard now, it's a minute 34-ish before we start the competition. The clock has started. The athletes have a 2-minute window to make those changes, as we said, and that 2-minute clock has started. Weigh-in for these athletes happened about 2 hours ago. The weigh-in occurred, and each athlete at that time is asked to give what they believe their opening attempt will be in the snatch and their opening attempt in the clean and jerk. But as I said before, each athlete, each attempt has 2 changes allowed to them or their coach before they have to go to the platform to make that weight. Our athletes here, we've got Maddie Sasser from US, Mercedes Perez, who is always an entertaining athlete to watch on the platform as well, from Colombia. Angie de Holmes, we've got an athlete from Uzbekistan, as I said, Kumoshkon Falzulieva, and Natalia Hayamosa of Colombia. We've also hooked up with the Cuban athlete Marina Rodriguez, and from Canada, lifting out of Calgary, I believe, is Nadia Yangi. Let's check the clock, see where we're at. We've got about 30 seconds remaining. This might be a good time to thank all of our help we're getting in the back room. The Pan American Weightlifting Federation designed the competition, sat down, and worked with all their committees to try and figure out the best way to do this.
All right, Maddie,
but it wouldn't be possible without the assistance of the International Weightlifting Federation. They're the experts when it comes to the backroom stuff, the scoreboard, the timekeeping, and all that, and we appreciate the help from the International Weightlifting Federation. The time has now expired. We're going to go to our scoreboard and see that changes are no longer accepted. For these athletes during this time. Let's take a look at our scoreboard and see just exactly who we're going to call first. 75 kilos is the weight. First attempt, 71 kilos, representing Cuba, Marina Rodriguez. And our first attempt in the 71 kilo category is a good lift. Rodriguez.
Movimiento válido.
Our next attempt at 80 kilos belongs to Canada. And Nadia, oh, my correction, belongs to Ecuador. Angie Palacios de Gómez. 80 kilos, first attempt.
Primer intento para Angie Palacios de Ecuador con 80 kilos. Válido para Angie.
80 kilos is still the weight. We're going to call our Canadian athlete in this session, Nadia Yangi, 80 kilos, first attempt.
80 kilos para Angie Yangi de Canadá. Nadia Yangi.
Yangi's lift is a good lift, 80 kilos.
Movimiento válido.
We're staying with 80 kilos. Natalia Llamosa, Colombia, first attempt.
Se mantienen los 80 kilos para Natalia Llamosa de Colombia.
Good lift, Llamosa, 80 kilos.
Movimiento válido.
85 kilos is now the weight. Mercedes Perez, Colombia. This is her first attempt in the snatch.
Subimos 85 kilos para Mercedes Pérez de Colombia.
Vamos. Vamos. Sigue. Vamos.
Good lift, Perez.
Movimiento válido.
Loaders, please. We're heading to Uzbekistan. 87 kilos on the bar. The athlete, Kumushkon Feyzulieva.
87 kilos para Uzbekistán. Kumusun Fuyueva.
Good lift, Feyzulieva.
Movimiento válido.
Our final first attempt in the women's 71 kilo Group A session snatch belongs to United States of America, Matty Sasser.
Último movimiento de este grupo, 90 kilos para Madeline Sasser de Estados Unidos.
Sasser's lift is successful. Good lift.
Movimiento válido.
All right, Mimi, let's see it.
Time to set the clock to 2 minutes for the
We've got a long
modification
break, okay?
period for these athletes
Good
so
count.
that they can move on to the second attempt in the snatch.
You
They
don't
have
like
2
it?
minutes to make all of their
Yeah, it's
changes
weird.
now. Let's recap what we've seen so
Just
far
relax,
in
you've got
the
time.
first
Come on,
round
Mimi.
of the women's 71 kilo Group A session. Our first athlete with first success was Marina Rodriguez at 75 kilos. But
Finish.
our strongest athlete so far was Maddie Sasser, successful on 90 kilos. We went 7 for 7. Followed by Maddie Sasser is 85 kilos for Mercedes Perez. Correction, 87 kilos for Feyzulieva of Uzbekistan with 87 kilos for the silver medal position. Right now, still 2 rounds to come. Perez next with 85 kilos. Then we have a number of athletes at 80 kilos. Angie Palacios de Homes put up 80 kilos from Ecuador. Also 80 kilos from Nadia Yangui of Canada. 80 kilos was successful for Colombia's Natalia Llamosa. And once again, as I said, Marina Rodriguez of Cuba had 75 kilos. We're about 1 minute away from resuming. These athletes are making the changes as quickly as they can so that they can position themselves in a way that hopefully
I got
can get
it.
themselves a medal. As we
Relax,
stated
I got
before, there will be a little medal ceremony for the total at the conclusion of the clean and jerk portion of this session. But all athletes who medaled in the snatch, clean and jerk, or total will receive awards in the mail, as well as every athlete who's participated in this will receive a certificate thanking them for making history, essentially.
So how it
because
goes
this is
that
the first
everybody will
ever
do their second attempt,
international
and you're last.
weightlifting
You'll go last.
event in the first ever online Pan Am Cup Live, brought to you by ZKC. We thank our sponsors for everything that they've done for us, as well as the organizing committees of the Pan Am Weightlifting Federation and all the technical staff and technical officials with the International Weightlifting Federation. Modification period is coming to a halt. The numbers look like they are not quite all in yet, so we'll just give them a few extra seconds for, I'm sure all the numbers are submitted, but it often takes time to make sure that they're all updated in the computer systems as well. So we'll just give a little bit of a break here. As you can see at the bottom, we've got senior and junior world records. As I stated, because the conditions for this tournament are not the same as they would be for a traditional IWF sanctioned event. Even though this event does have an IWF sanction, the records do not count for world records or for qualification for subsequent events. We've got 1 minute on the clock. We've got 81 kilos being requested by Angie Palacios de Homes. I'm going to call Angie Palacios de Homes, Ecuador, second attempt, 81 kilos. No lift awarded to Angie Palacios de Homes at 81 kilos. She has another attempt in the snatch to come. We're requesting now 82 kilos for Marina Rodriguez of Cuba. This will be her second attempt. Marina Rodriguez, Cuba, 82 kilos.
Plataforma Cuba con 82 kilogramos para su segundo intento en arranque.
Claro, y ahorita el último ya tiene que
That
ser
is
85.
no lift for Marina Rodriguez, no lift at 82 kilos. Our next attempt is requesting 83 kilos. 83 kilos, and that would be Canada. And Nadia Yangi, 83 kilos for Yangi, Canada.
83 kilos para Nadia Yangi de Canadá.
Four lifts to you. 4 minutes.
Good lift for Yangi, Canada.
Movimiento válido.
Our next attempt is 85 kilos. We're requesting Colombia's Natalia Llamosa. 85 kilos, second attempt.
85 kilos para Natalia Llamosa de Colombia.
Small enough jump. You can 85, right? 86.
I think that was easy.
That was pretty easy.
Let's go 81 to 4.
No. No se escucha. Es que no
Sí,
es así.
espérate, ahorita tengo que esperar de ley.
That's
¿Cuántos
a
faltan?
good lift for
Ahí está.
Llamosa. Good lift at 85 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Llamosa.
We have two athletes calling for 92 kilos next. First, we'll go to Uzbekistan.
92 kilos para Uzbekistán.
92 kilos,
Ahí le pones.
Kumushkon Feyzulieva, Uzbekistan. Mike, my correction. We're going to Mercedes Perez. Mercedes Perez, Colombia, 92 kilos.
Cambio 92 kilos para Mercedes Pérez de Colombia.
Tiene que acabarse toda la tanda. Ahí vas tú. Sí, por eso mismo tiempo.
Vamos. Sí, ya está. Baja.
Good lift, Perez, 92 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Colombia.
Now 92 kilos to Uzbekistan and Kumushkon Feyzulieva, second attempt.
92 kilos para Fezuyeva de Uzbekistán.
Good lift, 92 kilos.
Movimiento válido.
Our final attempt in round number 2 in the snatch belongs to Maddie Sasser, USA, 93 kilos, second attempt.
Último intento de este segundo grupo para Madeline Sasser de Estados Unidos. Con 93 kilos.
Come on, Maddie.
Marca de grifler. Marca de grifler.
Down. Good girl.
Sasser's lift is a good one at 93 kilos.
Movimiento válido.
Once again, this is notice to our coaches and to our athletes that the 2-minute modification period is about to begin. You have 2 minutes to make all your necessary changes for your third attempt in the snatch.
Maddie,
Once
95
again,
or
you
6?
can't make your changes yet for the clean and jerk. We will
Six?
start that at the end of the 10-minute break between the snatch and the clean and jerk. So recapping so far, we have a successful lift at 93 kilos, which is our biggest lift so far, and it belongs to Maddie Sasser of the United States of America. She just made that. But just behind, we have 2 athletes with success at 92 kilos. Mercedes Perez of Colombia and Kumashkon Feyzulieva of Uzbekistan
Maddie,
was
Mercedes
also
is going
successful
96. You want
at
97?
92 kilos. 85 kilos is the best number put up so far by Natalia Yamosa. 83 kilos successful for Nadia Yangui, and 80 kilos for Angie de Homes Palacios, who missed her second attempt. She was not seen on camera when it was time for her to make her lift. Athletes are calling for their changes. The modification period is about partway done, and we've got 85 kilos being the first request so far, but there's still
Holy cow.
plenty of time to
Look
make
at this
the
Cuban
changes.
went 99 after missing 82.
This is the very first ever international weightlifting
They
event
asked me
that
to
has
put
been held
something behind the
exclusively
window, but I'm
online.
not gonna.
The Pan Am Cup Live brought to you by ZKC. The Pan Am Live brought to you by the Chinese barbell company ZKC. We very much appreciate all their help and is a strategic partner in making this happen. Again, once again, we also have to thank the International Weightlifting Federation. Their knowledge and contribution has been unfathomable, and we very much appreciate your help. Now, 82 kilos is the call. The modification period has expired. 82 kilos was unsuccessful for Marina Rodriguez of Cuba on her second attempt. She's calling for it for her third. Ladies and gentlemen, Marina Rodriguez, Cuba, 82 kilos.
82 kilos para Marina Rodríguez de Cuba, su tercer intento.
Rodriguez, 82 kilos is a good lift this time.
Movimiento válido.
Our next athlete, 85 kilos, being requested by Angie Palacios de Homes.
85 kilos para Angie de Homes, de Ecuador.
Ecuador's de Homes, 85 kilos, third attempt. That's a good lift for Palacios de Homes.
Movimiento válido.
Another kilo, please, for Canada and Nadia Yangui. This will be her third attempt. Yangui, Canada, 86 kilos.
86 kilos para Yangui de Canadá.
No lift, Canada, Yangui.
Movimiento nulo para Yangui.
90 kilos the weight. Representing Colombia, third attempt in the snatch, Natalia Llamosa.
90 kilos para el tercer intento de Natalia Llamosa de Colombia.
That's not bad, eh? Well, 83. That's good.
Good lift.
Movimiento válido.
Good lift for Llamosa at 90 kilos. Our next attempt is 96 kilos. It belongs to Colombia and Mercedes Perez. Third attempt, 96 kilos.
96 kilos para Mercedes Pérez de Colombia.
Duro.
Vamos.
Vamos. Sigue, sigue. Eso. Baja. Muy bien.
Good lift, Perez, 96 kilos.
96 kilos válidos para Mercedes Pérez.
96 kilos is the weight. Kumushkon, Feyzulieva, Uzbekistan, third attempt in the snatch.
Los 96 kilos para Kumushon Fasuaeva de Uzbekistán.
Good lift for Feyzulieva.
Movimiento válido para Uzbekistán.
Last lift, 97 kilos. Third attempt, Maddie Sasser, USA.
Último movimiento de arranque para Madeline Sasser de Estados Unidos.
And Sasser's lift is a good lift at 97 kilos. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll be back with the clean and jerk in 10 minutes time. We're going to see if we can show you an interview we conducted earlier with the Secretary General of the International Weightlifting Federation. Please stick around. We'll be back in 10 minutes time. Got Mohammed Jaloud, the General Secretary of the International Weightlifting Federation, on the line joining us. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Richard, to give me this opportunity to talking about very important events and about the situation in weightlifting.
Let's start there. How do I best describe your role as the General Secretary? Tell me essentially what the General Secretary does and how it contributes to the IWF.
First of all, I have priority to weightlifting, and the first goal for me, this is the first goal for me, must be weightlifting is clean sport for the future to keep weightlifting forever to an Olympic Games. Otherwise, if we know clean weightlifting for the future, that weightlifting is in big risk and weightlifting will be removed from Olympic Games, and now must be fixed all united and working very hard to clean weightlifting, to keep weightlifting in Olympic program forever. This is my goal and my priority.
How do you do that? How do you keep how do you keep, or how do we get weightlifting to a point where it is so clean that the International Olympic Committee goes, wow, we love weightlifting, we want them forever?
You know, weightlifting is the basic sport. From beginning on of Olympic Games, 9 sports. Weightlifting is one of the 9 sports, 1896, when starting the modern events of Olympic Games. And now we facing problem with last 3 Olympic Games with the doping. Because in that time, our system, my opinion is our system is not so good. Now we give all authority, and we're fighting an executive board to give all authority to ITA. And now ITA manage everything for weightlifting. And in this case, we give this to independent reality organization. If weightlifting, we control doping, that is mean, in my opinion, it is no independent reality organization. Now with ITA, I'm think we can working together, we can support ITA, can found the cheater, and in this case, we show all the world that weightlifting not keep authority for doping with our hand. We need to give all authority to professional organization, and in this case, with the transparency, with everything is no need, how to say, we have historical about many countries who is doping in the past. For us, we need this, change the culture of this country, change the culture of coach. We need to all believe in the scientific. If we can change the culture of the coach by change the mentality from doping to scientific, we will be successful, and all around the world believe that is we are give this authority to independent reality organization. For me, I'm satisfied. You will see next Olympic Games, I can guarantee you to anyone that weightlifting will be reached to 0 doping.
Wow, would be a huge goal. You're talking about 0 at the games as well as in the retrospective tests as well?
Yeah, our goal is the Olympic Games, and now we will starting with ITA increase more control. Especially, I talking in executive board. We need to make all continent analysis for all continent. Asia, maybe 30% of Asian is the half historical in doping. Must be fixed about this country too much to make this country recovering. Also, maybe Africa is 10%. Maybe Colombia, Oceania, Pan American is 20%, and Europe, Asia is the majority of the positive case. You look to Oceania, 16 years, Oceania is 0 doping. That is mean now we have one continent is clean. All this continent must be reached. Look, each continent must be challenged, each continent to reach to 0 doping. In this case, if we make analysis, we know the historical of each country. We give all this information to ITA. They can control this country, can give more educated to this country. We can change the culture for this country, and all in the end, trust in our system, and will be 0 doping. We need to keep weightlifting in Olympic program. We need to fair play. That is mean honest for all. If you take medals, must be take with the honest way. Believe me, last 3 Olympic Games, I'm ashamed from what too much reanalyzes positive case. That is, we are in the past that our job is no good. Our system used in the past is not so good. For this reason, now we change all mentality. We change everything. We make all the transparency to make weightlifting, to keep weightlifting in Olympic program forever.
Okay, we're starting to run out of time, so but there's one more topic I want to touch on. You talked about trust, and by using the ITA and WADA and other outside agencies, we can achieve trust in the doping side. But the McLaren report also mentioned trust problems, I will say, at the IWF itself. One of the people I talked to Richard Pound with the IOC the other day, and he said that part of his concern with weightlifting staying is he was worried that not enough people stepped forward to talk to McLaren and tell them what they knew. He's concerned about trust with the Weightlifting Federation outside of doping as well. Is there a way that that can be addressed?
No, listen to me. Weightlifting, as I told you, the people in all weightlifting family no trust with our system in the past. No, that mean we cannot understand, we don't understand, because in the past, as executive board, as no executive board, as the system, we have commission appointed by President Thomas Ayan, we have everything. This is now finished. Even panel section, anti-doping, everything, we cancel all commission, we give all authority to ITA to establish foundation in new people independent reality. That is mean the problem not with the executive board. The problem sometime with some commission is, in my opinion, is not independent. For this reason, now with the new area, you will see ITA, they choose everything for us. Anti-doping, monitoring group. That is mean, this is what I mean. This is reality independent. The independent, if appointed people by Jalud or Thomas, this is not independent.
I understand, but I'm talking about outside of doping, that there were trust issues in the office with elections, there were trust issues in the office with finances. So doping aside,
yes.
Can the other trust issues be addressed?
Yes. Now, regarding the election, we make election now. We decided executive board make election. I hope to be in January, and we decided this election will be in Lausanne, in front of IOC, and you will see IOC will control everything. We requested from him to control everything. We have wonderful family. Our family, all federation, my opinion, all federation, all continent, they know everything now. They know who is good leader for the future. Believe me, we have majority, especially in Europe, in Asia, in America Latin, people understand the situation, and you will see after 4 or 5 months, we will be election, you will attend this election, and you will see who is win, congratulations, who is lost, hard luck, and weightlifting better than Jalud, better than anyone, must be kept for the future. And now even we now to make our constitution revenue. In the past, more power to the resident. Now we make commission to review our constitution to make the executive board the power. Not only the man person, he is the power in executive board, the president. We need, because the lead of the executive board, they lead weightlifting. Not only person or Jalud or Tamash or Ursula must be, this is decision by executive board with democratic way. I see that our future will be fantastic.
The athletes are getting ready to do this, do the clean and jerk now, so we have to take a break. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bishop. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you once again to Mohammed Jalud for taking the time to talk to us. It is now time to begin the clean and jerk portion of this session. We have 100 kilos on the bar. We're going to call our first athlete in the clean and jerk portion of the 71 kilo category. Joining us from Ecuador, Angie Palacios de Homes. That's a good lift for Angie Palacios de Homes, 100 kilos, first attempt in the clean and jerk.
Movimiento válido.
100 kilos is still the weight. We're going to call our next athlete representing Cuba in the clean and jerk. This is her first attempt, Marina Rodriguez, Cuba.
Mantenemos los 100 kilos para Marina Rodríguez de Cuba.
That's a good lift for Rodriguez of Cuba, 100 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Marina.
105 kilos will now be the weight. We'll call from Canada, Nadia Yangi. Canada, 105 kilos, first attempt in the clean and jerk.
Subimos a 105 kilos para Nadia Yangui de Canadá.
That's a good lift for Yangi at 105.
Movimiento válido para Nadia.
105 kilos still the weight. We're headed to Colombia for the first attempt in the clean and jerk of Natalia Llamosa.
105 kilos para el primer intento de Natalia Llamosa de Colombia.
You ran out of time.
They had started, and I thought there was a 2-minute grace period. And then they're like, hey, first lift there. I'm like, shit, I have 2 minutes.
What's your next one? Good 110.
I was gonna go 8.
Good lift, Natalia Llamosa, 105 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Colombia.
113 kilos being requested now for our next athlete. She was the best in the snatch. She's opening third last from the clean and jerk. Maddie Sasser, United States of America.
113 kilos para el primer intento de Madeline Sasser de Estados Unidos.
Sasser's opener is a good lift, majority decision, 2 out of 3 white lights.
Movimiento válido en fallo dividido.
We need more weight. 115 kilos now for Colombia's Mercedes Perez. First attempt in the clean and jerk.
115 kilos para el primer intento de Mercedes Pérez de Colombia.
Sí, ya. Vamos. espalda derecha. Sigue, ya está, sigue, muy bien. Eso, muy bien, baja.
Good lift. Perez, 115 kilos.
Movimiento válido.
116 kilos being requested on the bar now for the first attempt, representing Uzbekistan, Kumoshkon Fazulieva.
116 kilos para el primer intento de envión de Kumushkun Fasueva de Uzbekistán.
Two out of three, white lights, good lift. Fazulieva.
Movimiento válido.
That concludes the first round of the clean and jerk in the women's 71 kilo category. We'll have our second round after the 2-minute modification period. Now let's recap a little bit what we saw so far in the clean and jerk portion. 7 for 7, every athlete made their attempt. 116 kilos was just successful for Uzbekistan and Kumushkon Fazulieva. She was preceded by 115 kilos by Mercedes Perez of Colombia. Maddie Sasser, United States of America, lifted 113 kilos. Before that, we saw two athletes successful with 105, both Nadia Yangi of Canada and Natalia Yamosa of Colombia. 100 kilos was the opening attempt from Angie Palacios de Homes. Let's recap a little bit of the snatch portion of this session, which we did not get a chance to because we wanted to make sure that you got to hear from the Secretary General of the International Weightlifting Federation. After the snatch portion, it was first place for Maddie Sasser with 97 kilos, just 1 kilo behind with a 3 for 3 performance, Mercedes Perez of Colombia. Third place, again, 3 for 3, 96 kilos for Kumushkon Fazulieva. Fourth place is Natalia Yamosa of Colombia with 90 kilos carrying into the clean and jerk portion. 85 kilos for Angie Palacios de Homes, made on her third attempt. And we had 83 kilos for Nadia Yangi of Canada and 82 kilos for Marina Rodriguez of Cuba. The athletes once again have 2 minutes to submit all of their changes for their second and third attempts. The modification period, it's called. This is not a normal rule in the International Weightlifting Federation, but due to the restrictions that we have and how we're doing this over many time zones and all around the world, this is the best way for us to handle this. The modification period has expired. We have Angie Palacios de Homes requesting a 2 kilo increase over her success at 100 kilos. So that is what we're going to call. Angie Palacios de Homes, 102 kilos, second attempt in the clean and jerk.
102 kilos para el segundo intento de Angie da Homes Palacio de Ecuador.
Good lift for Angie Palacios, 102 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Angie.
105 kilos is the next weight up the ladder. 105 kilos for Cuba. And Marina Rodriguez, this is her second attempt.
105 kilos para el segundo intento de Marina Rodríguez de Cuba.
Good lift. Marina Rodriguez, 105 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Cuba.
We need 109 kilos now. We're heading to Canada for Nadia Yangui. Second attempt in the clean and jerk.
109 kilos para Nadia Yangui de Canadá. Para su segundo intento.
Majority says no lift. Yangui, 109 kilos.
Movimiento nulo en fallo dividido.
We need another kilo, please. 110 kilos now. Natalia Llamosa, Colombia. This will be her second attempt in the clean and jerk. Llamosa, 110 kilos.
110 kilos para Natalia Llamosa de Colombia.
Good lift. Llamosa, 110 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Colombia.
We need 118 kilos now for the next attempt. It belongs to Maddie Sasser, United States of America.
118 kilos para Madeline Sasser de Estados Unidos.
Three white lights. Maddie Sasser, 118 kilos.
Movimiento válido.
We need more. 120 kilos now for the second attempt in the clean and jerk of Colombia. Mercedes Perez.
120 kilos para el segundo intento de Mercedes Pérez de Colombia.
Vamos. Espalda derecha. Ya está. Jalón, espalda derecha. Sí, ya está. Bien. Muy bien. Eso, muy bien. Baja.
Good lift. Perez, 120 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Mercedes Pérez.
One more kilo, please. 121 kilos in the final attempt in the clean and jerk in the women's 71 kilo class in the second round. Kumushkon Feyzulieva, Uzbekistan.
121 kilos para la deportista de Uzbekistán, Kumushun Fazulaeva.
No lift. Fezulieva.
Movimiento nulo.
The 2-minute clock will now start for the modification period after round 2 of the clean and jerk. Taking a look at our statistics so far, 120 kilos for Mercedes Perez is the best lift in the clean and jerk thus far. It's followed by the 118 kilos from Maddie Sasser. The third place lifter right now is Fezulieva, who was unsuccessful with 121 with her final attempt there. She was going to trying to put herself into first position, but she currently sits in third. Also, Nadia Yangui mixed her 109 kilos on her second attempt, but Angie Palacios de Homes was successful at 102, as was Marina Rodriguez of Cuba with 105 kilos. Natalia Llamosa rounds out the field. She was successful with 110 kilos after making 105 kilos on her first attempt. The athletes have 1 more minute to make their changes before we shut that down and watch them perform on the platform. All of these platforms are set up around the world by these athletes, where they train, where they live, wherever they can find a place to put a bar, some collars, some weights, and perform. Because of the situation in the world today with the social distancing and restrictions on travel, it has put a big damper on the International Weightlifting Federation calendar. Events have been canceled from the Junior Worlds in Romania up until the World University Championships that were to be held in the Republic of Korea just a few months from now in October. All of those cancellations, or in some cases postponements, have meant that the athletes don't have an opportunity to lift. So that is why we're having the first ever online Pan Am Cup Live, brought to you by ZKC. 105 kilos is being requested for the beginning of round 3 in the clean and jerk. We're going to call our first athlete. Junior age, out of Ecuador, Angie Palacios de Homes, 105 kilos, third attempt.
105 kilos para Ecuador, para Angie Palacios de Homes.
A good lift for Angie Palacios de Homes.
Movimiento válido para Angie.
We're going to ask for more weight, 109 kilos, heading back to Canada for her second attempt at this number. Nadia Yangui, Canada, 109 kilos, third attempt.
109 kilos para Nadia Yangui de Canadá, su tercer intento.
Three white lights for Nadia Yangui of Canada.
Movimiento válido.
We need more weight, 110 kilos now. Cuba, Marina Rodriguez, third attempt.
110 kilos para el segundo intento de Marina Rodríguez de Cuba. Perdón, tercer intento.
A good lift for Marina Rodriguez, 110 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Marina Rodríguez.
115 kilos is the request for the third attempt, representing Colombia, Natalia Llamosa.
115 kilos para el tercer intento de la deportista Natalia Llamosa de Colombia.
No lift, Llamosa, 115 kilos.
Movimiento nulo para Natalia Llamosa.
We're now headed to all the way around the world to Uzbekistan, where 121 kilos is on the bar for the third attempt of Kumushkon Feyzulieva.
121 kilos para Uzbekistán. Kumushkon Feyzulieva.
No lift.
Movimiento nulo.
122 kilos now. The United States of America, third attempt, Maddie Sasser.
122 kilos para Madeline Sasser.
All right, let's see it, Maddie. Come on, strong. Yes. Push. Yes. All right, straight. You got it. Push, push, push. Down. Hey. Good job, Maddie.
Majority decision says good lift for Maddie
Good
Sasser.
lift.
Movimiento válido.
Passed it. 6 for 6.
Final attempt belongs to Colombia, belongs to Mercedes Perez. 124
All right, last
kilos,
lifter.
third attempt in the clean and jerk.
Come on, Mimi.
Kilos para el último intento de envión de esta categoría para Mercedes Pérez de Colombia.
She trails right now by a few kilos behind Maddie Sasser. If successful, this will give her the gold medal in the total.
¿Ah? ¿Quién? ¿La Estados Unidos? Sí, ya, Mercedes, ya. Está poniendo el tiempo para ella. Hay que hacerlo. Ya está.
Good lift. Mercedes Perez in 124 kilos.
Movimiento válido para Mercedes Pérez.
This concludes the lifting portion of the women's 71 kilo Group A session. We'll be having a virtual medal ceremony in just a few moments for the total. Again, not all the traditional rules are being there we go. The medal ceremony is underway. The women's 71 kilo total Gold medalist Mercedes Perez of Colombia. Silver medal goes to Maddie Sasser of the United States of America. And Uzbekistan's Kumushkon Feyzulieva is the bronze medalist.
Las medallistas, categoría 71 kilos, ganadora Mercedes Pérez de Colombia, segundo lugar Matrin Sasser de Estados Unidos y tercera Kumushkun Feyzulieva de Uzbekistán.
Once again, this concludes the 71 kilo category of this, the first ever Pan Am Cup online weightlifting meet brought to you by ZKC. A special thanks to our athletes, coaches, and referees. This isn't possible without the technical expertise of the International Weightlifting Federation staff. Thank you, Zoli. And thank you, Bowen, for your work as well. The organization of the Pan Am Federation is behind this 100%, and thank you very much for doing all of that. We have more weightlifting to come. At 4 o'clock this afternoon, we'll see the women of the 76 and 81 kilo categories. And then at 6 o'clock p.m. Lima, Peru time, we will see the 87 and the over 87 kilo athletes. Thanks very much for taking the time to join us. We'll be back in just a few moments with the next session of the 76 and the 81 kilo athletes. This is the first ever online Pan Am Live by ZKC. Thanks for joining us.